It's far away.
And yep, recording.
Jake, what's the mood like in the camp this week?
Yeah, obviously dealing with what's been a tough start to the year, but just walking through the corridors and seeing the boys, and we're still pretty upbeat and optimistic about what we've been able to produce so far, besides the 1-4 record. But there are some signs, and yeah, we're remaining pretty optimistic and tight about how things are going.
What's the teammates' perspective when you see, I think it's 15 to 17 now on the injury list? How does that make you feel as a teammate when you see players?
Obviously, it's unfortunate for the boys that get injured. See the amount of work they put in to get their bodies right, and to have it taken away, which is out of their control. But as a player that's still available, I'm trying to put my hand up and take a lot of responsibility, and it just gives a few more boys some opportunities. So they are injured, but we've got to move on. We can't dwell on what we don't have and focus on what we do have.
Is there almost like a bit of a state of disbelief? I mean, you got so unlucky the other year, and then you think, oh, that's the once off, get that out of the way, and then this year it's almost happened again.
Oh, maybe after the Freo game was a bit of disbelief, but that was a bit rare, sort of what we copped that day. But like I said, you can't dwell on it. Like the more you think about it, you're just wasting energy on something that you can't control. So as a team, we're pretty unified in the fact that we're facing a bit of a challenge at the moment. Like last year, we learned a lot off last year, so I think we're able to sort of implement what we learnt last year in these sort of similar situations to put it forward and try to right the wrongs of a few things we did last year.
What have you made of your year this year? I mean, you've had 2 4-goal hauls at sort of career best, I guess, as far as your kicking sort of concerned. Are you happy with where you're at, and do you think you're in career best form?
I don't. If goals are measurable, then probably so, but it always hasn't been about goals for me. I've just probably playing a bit closer to goals now, and we're getting a few more inside 50s, which gives us chances forward to hit the scoreboard. So if you measure, how good you're going off goals, you're going to be pretty up and down. So I'm just trying to keep a consistent sort of mindset on myself and my preparation, and not sort of focus on too much how I'm hitting the scoreboard. But I'm in a nice spot at the moment, and I've just got to keep standing up in games.
Have you changed your I don't want to say change your preparation, but heading into this year, did you feel as though this was sort of a year where you wanted to make an impact as far as your careers within the team?
Well, I'm coming off pretty limited pre-season, so I didn't want to set the expectations too high for myself, especially coming off no pre-season, and obviously missed round 1. Probably needed to get a bit more match fitness, and I think I'm in a good spot physically, and I think that turns into mentally. So you try not to set too high of an expectation yourself, because if you fall short, then you can get yourself in a bit of trouble. But I'm well aware of how significant this year is on my career, and I think I've got off to a pretty decent start. But I've got to turn some of those games into wins for the footy club, that's for sure.
Does rucking help to keep you involved in the game when the ball isn't coming down? Yeah,
definitely. It's a change up for sure. Just gets you around the ball, and playing forward at times when you're not getting any inside 50s or not getting too many inside 50s, you can feel a bit detached from the game, and probably lose touch on how things are going at times. But just being around the ball a little bit helps you get involved a little bit more, and it's different, that's for sure.
The way injuries are going, there's a strong chance you'll end up number 1 rucking at some point. Could you do that? Like if you were forced to? You mentioned how you haven't had a pre-season. Could you actually run around in the ruck if required as the main man? Oh,
there's so much to go into that. I mean, matchups and whatnot are a massive factor in what the coaches choose to go with. But my sort of mantra's being my whole career, I'll put my hand up to do anything, and it got me a game to play at the start of the year. So if the team needs me to do that or spend more time in the ruck, I doubt I'll be the number 1 ruck leading into a game. That'd be something. But obviously I'll put my hand up to try and share the load a little bit more.
Are you changing your training a little bit to spend some more time training ruck, given that the stocks are relatively limited?
Yeah, you get pulled out of a drill here and there to sort of work on your connection with the mids, but I'm not getting my hands to too many hit-outs in there, so it's not going to be silver service for the boys. It's just try and follow up and create a contest at ground level, and if we can win a clearance and get the ball going forward, then that's a big win.
Have you? Did you watch the game the other day with Port Adelaide? Who were they playing again? It was a good game.
Bulldogs.
Yeah,
Bulldogs.
Yeah, did you? I was like, did you?
Yeah.
What have you made of them?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a different game because it was a wet weather game, and yeah, they looked good. I don't know what the weather's like this week, but we went over there last year. We were very confident, and they came out and they smacked us. So we'll take a lot of learnings from that, and yeah, they're in a pretty good spot at the moment. So yeah, we'll reflect on their game, reflect on ours, and try and implement a few plans to try and get them.
How have you found the combination with Oscar Allen? Still early days in the season, but trying to get familiar with one another's games?
Yeah, I mean, Oscar, we're pretty close mates, and we haven't played a lot of footy together in the few years we've been at the club together, and when we have, we've had big Kenners down there as well, and obviously JD's still here, but yeah, I think we can work together pretty well. We've got good chemistry, and yeah, hopefully it's just the start of something with me and Oscar, and obviously JD's a legend of the club, and yeah, I'm sure he'll bounce back in form soon.
Coach has spoken a lot about resilience, Jake, and you mentioned you learnt a lot last year. What does that look like at the moment, sort of during the week, and I guess having that resilience as a group?
I think firstly just acknowledging the situation that we're facing and just trying to move forward. We learned a lot last year, resilience-wise, but that's not saying we're not going to learn anything now. So it's a continual learning process, and you're faced with challenges every day, sort of at AFL level, and us probably more so at the moment. So, like I said before, we're just going to stay unified, and we've got a very tight group of boys. We're all very close mates, and you know, if that doesn't convert to wins on the field, I'm sure it will soon. So, yeah, I think we've just got to stick fat with each other.
Has the skipper been speaking at all about whether he gets back this week?
I'm sure he'd be pretty tired to get back, that's for sure. But I haven't spoken to him personally. But yeah, it'd be a massive boost if we can get him out there. He was in some bloody good form.
Played junior early in a real game. You guys played in a pre-season game. How does the approach go towards someone when you're playing against a former opponent for the first time in a real game?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest, but I just like versing anyone else. I mean, we obviously know Willie's strength probably a little bit more than we do many other players, and his weaknesses, even though he doesn't really have any. But yeah, I think we probably know what we're going to expect, and that's to expect brilliance from Wiz, and yeah, hopefully the boys down back can sort of mitigate him a little bit and try to keep him to only a few touches. But he's such a great player, and yeah, he's a great man. So you've got to put that friendship aside for games, that's for sure.
You still close again?
Yeah. I think we're all pretty close. He went through a lot at the footy club, that's for sure, and we were all pretty tight all the way through that. So it's good to see him doing well. But yeah, on the weekend we'll try and knock him over, that's for sure.
Is he a different human in South Australia? Like he wanted to get away from family reasons. When you speak to him, you notice a difference with him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he seems like he's in a good spot, and it's not too hard because he missed a game for a couple of years over here. So yeah, I mean, mate, I've only spoken to him from a friend point of view, and I try not to involve what he's been like, sort of off field and whatnot. But yeah, he looks like he's in a good spot, and I think it's showing on the footy field.
How big of a blow is it to lose Yoey again?
I don't know. I haven't really seen him yet, but I don't know what the scans showed. But I mean, I think when he went into the midfield in that sort of third, fourth quarter, he showed why he's a two-time sort of best and fairest and a premiership player. And yeah, he's a player we definitely want out in the park. So fingers crossed he's playing this week, or if he's not, then he'll be back pretty soon.
Is there any confidence at all you can take from that pre-season game against Port, or is it a matter of a lot of personnel changes, perhaps looking forward a bit more? Yeah,
I'm sure we'll look back at that and see what they did, but yeah, we're definitely a different team to what we rolled out at Lathlane that day. But yeah, it doesn't change the process we'll be trying to go after. But yeah, I think both teams have changed quite significantly since then. So we've got to keep up to date with the trends in the AFL and how they've been going and how we've been going. So there's so much that goes into it.
Pretty different week for you with two travels back to back and back along the way. Like, how do you handle that compared to a normal week? Is it very different for you?
It is different, but I think we played three in a row at home only a few weeks ago, so we're probably due to get on the plane a couple of times. But it's only to Adelaide, so we try not to overthink the sort of the travel and how it affects the game. But yeah, just business as usual. Try to get your body in the best nick on a 6-day break and try to go out there and have a crack.
The club has said that they want to get an extra home game because of gather round into the future. Do you think that not having to travel, if you have one less travel game per year, would make a huge difference to how you would feel as a player by the end of the season?
Not too sure. It's so hard to measure that, but playing an extra home game is something that does interest me a little bit. We obviously love playing in front of Optus fans, and Optus is such a great ground. So I'm sure if you ask any of the boys if we could have an extra home game, they'll jump at the chance. So whether that gets through or not, we'll see. But we're not going to cry over it if we don't.
There's a bit of talk about postponing the Waffle game this weekend, the West Coast Waffle game. Where does that sit with you? What do you think of that?
I'm not too sure. I did see something about that, but I'm pretty aware that I think the club's going to go forward with that. And obviously with injuries like last year, it affects the whole list and even the Waffle list. And yeah, they had a tough day on the weekend. I think we only had maybe 3 or 4 AFL players listed, and they're all under 20. And you know, coming up against an experienced Waffle side like West Perth, they are on AFL list, but they're only young kids, and for them to sort of stand up and have to take the responsibility of leading a Waffle team, it's a very tough comp. And yeah, I mean, it's great exposure for those young kids that are playing that are on our list, as well as the young Waffle boys as well. So I'm pretty sure we'll be going ahead with the game. We don't want to be postponing any games, that's for sure. As a footy club, we're a proud club, and no matter who's playing, no matter who puts the jumper on at Waffle level, I'm sure they're going to give it a red hot crack.
Do you think the Commission should do more for the club?
I think 4 weeks ago we had the strongest team in the Waffle, and we didn't lose a trial game, and we've just got lucky with injuries. So I think it'd be pretty drastic to turn around and change that. So yeah, hopefully we get some more troops back on the park at AFL level, and that will strengthen our Waffle team soon. That's for sure.
Is it a bit embarrassing?
No.
Is it a concern though that players won't stick around and play for the Waffle?
No. I think every person that puts on the jumper at Waffle level is proud to wear it, and they're definitely not thinking about that.
But you look at the past captains who have left and why they've left, and a lot of it is because there's not that much love given to the Waffle.
Well, I think we did lose a few players probably a couple of years ago when the Waffle team was sort of up in air whether it was going to come back, and I think that was the main reason why. And once we recommitted to the comp, we started to get a few more players back. So I think if you look previously to 2019, we made finals and we had a very good team that year, and obviously the last couple of years have been pretty tough with COVID and injuries. But like I said, I mean, we went 3-0 in our practice games, and I know for a fact we had the best team in the Waffle. So yeah, hopefully we can strengthen that from top to bottom, and yeah, see some results soon.
Just one on Yowie. Do you feel for him mentally? It must be tough. He's in and out, and he's had such a good pre-season.
Yowie?
Yeah, Yowie, now he's back on the sideline. Do players feel for him? How do you get around him?
Yeah, we do, because you see someone like that. Anyone who knows Yowie just knows how passionate he is about the footy club and playing the game, and obviously such a successful player, a massive player for the club for so many years, and just hasn't had a good run at it. And yeah, you see the work he puts in behind the scenes, and there's only so much you can say to someone that goes through so many injury concerns like that over and over. And yeah, I'm sure he'll be pretty flat. Like I said, I don't know the extent of the injury, so hopefully if he's not playing this week, then it's only a couple of weeks out, because yeah, he was looking pretty good late in that game for sure. He definitely turned it for us. So yeah.